In this video, I'm going to show you how to use GraphPad to transform data. So there are many ways you can transform data within GraphPad. You can use the standard built-in functions, or you can actually define your own. And if you're dealing with pharmacology and biochemistry transformations, there are actually 6 specific functions built in for this. So why would you want to transform your data in the first place? Well, transforming your data is very useful during normality testing. For example, these two histograms show the distribution of the same data before and after a natural log transformation. Notice that by doing the log transformation, as shown on the right, the data now represents a normal distribution, whereas the untransformed data on the left does not. Let's go within Prism and get started with some transformations. So with Prism open, what I'm going to do for this tutorial is select an XY table and graph, and I'm going to start with some sample data which is already in Prism if you want to follow along at home, and I'm going to enter replicate data in this instance and then click the create button. I'm going to minimize this note because we don't need this. So what we have here is an experiment with two groups, control and treated. Each of the Y values on each row represents a repeated measure. So you've got 45 and 34. Then on the x-axis we've got the number of hours. So how do we go about transforming data within Prism? Well, with the data table open, you want to go to the Analyze button and click on this. And then under Transform and Normalize at the top, you want to select Transform. And then in the window on the right of this, you want to tick which data sets you want to transform. So I'm going to leave these ticked and click OK. So there are actually 4 main ways you can actually transform your data within Prism, and I'll go through each one in a bit more detail. So let's start off with the first one, standard functions. So standard functions is essentially using the built-in functions that are already available within GraphPad. And under this, the first option is you can interchange x and y. So if I click on this, this means the x and y values will be actually reversed, so they'll be swapped over. So that might be useful to do in some instances. And when you do that, an option appears where it says when it is possible to transform a standard deviation or standard error of the mean, you can either choose to erase the standard deviation or standard error of the mean, which will obviously get rid of this, or you can convert to an asymmetric 95% confidence interval. So this will convert the values to a 95% confidence interval, however, these will not be symmetric. So that's just something to bear in mind if you do want to interchange x and y values. The next option to do is you can transform your x values. So in this instance, the x values are the number of hours. And it says transform x values using x equals x plus k. So what does this mean? Well, the x is obviously the values of x, which would be these values here. And k is a user-defined number. So as you can see, there's a box here where you can enter k. So if we leave this formula as it is, and we choose k equals 5, this means each of these x values will plus k, which in this instance is 5. So it would be 0 plus 5, 6 plus 5, 12 plus 5, etc. So that's a way you can use a user-defined number known as k to include in your transformations. So to run the transformation, I'll click OK. And then the first thing you'll notice is that the transformed values are in a new result sheet. So this is the transformation of xy. And every single x value has had k, which is 5, added to it. And if you ever forget what formula you have done in your transformation, if you look in the bottom right, there's a useful note which gives you the formula for the transformation used, and in this instance, the value of k. Another thing to note is that this result sheet you can actually use as a standard data table, so you can perform analyses on these transformed data itself by going to the Analyze button in the transformed result sheet. But let's go back into the transformation wizard by going on to Change Analysis Parameters. That was a very simple transformation we've just done. Other standard functions included within Prism are displayed in this drop-down menu. So if I click on this, you can see there's quite a wealth of different formulas you can use. Ones which may be useful to you are, for example, log transformation, which would do a log transformation of the x values with a base of 10. and you can also do a z-score, which is a standardized score, as well as other mathematical functions. So there's a wealth of this that you can play around with, and it may be useful for your experiment. Another thing to note is that instead of using a value of k in your transformations, you can actually do what's known as a hook. So a hook is when you link a value either from a different analyses or the information page on Prism, and you hook that, so you basically link that value to your formula. What I'll do is I'll give you an example of how this works. If we go back to our original datasheet, our untransformed data, and then click Analyze, and let's get some descriptive statistics by going to Column Analyses, Descriptive Statistics, and click OK. And I'm just going to get the mean, the standard deviation, and the standard error of the mean, and click OK. So again, in a new result sheet, this is just simple descriptive statistics of my datasheet, and it's given the mean, the standard deviation, and the standard error of the mean for the control and treated samples. So if we go back to our transformed data, and we want to again click Change Analysis Parameters to tweak the settings. So instead of k, what we can do is delete this, and then click this little hook icon. So this will then open the hook constant window, where it'll list all of previous analyses that you performed, and under these drop down menus you can hit click and open each parameter. So I want the control group, I want the mean for this control group, which was 77.9. Click OK, and then now you'll notice that the k value in this instance is the mean for the control group, which is 77.9. So if I clicked OK, obviously all the x values would have this value added to them. Now the useful thing about the hook analyses is it's linked to the descriptive statistics. So if this mean value were to ever change, the transformed values in my transformed datasheet will automatically change for me. I'll show you what I mean by this. So if I go to the untransformed data and then change some of the control values, I don't know, we'll add 100 onto one reading, which will obviously change our mean value for this. If we go to the descriptive statistics, you'll see that the mean value is now 81.28. And then finally go back to your transformed data, and this has reflected automatically to adjust for this. Now k equals 81.27. So that's just another way you can tweak your formulas within Prism during your transformations. Another way you can hook in analyses is that if you go to your information page, which will give you some generic information about your experiment, if I entered a value, and what I'll do is I'll call this temperature. So this could be the temperature at which the experiment was performed, and we're going to call this 39. If we go back to our transformed data and change the analysis parameters, and instead of hooking the analyses to the descriptive statistics, I can then use the info constants, use this drop down, and you'll see temperature, which is what I've just defined as 39, will be included. And I can actually hook this value instead, if I so wish. So as well as transforming x values, you can also transform y values in conjunction to this or separately by unticking this. And when you transform y values, there's a few different options available. There's the standard functions, which was available in the x value transformations in this drop down menu here. And then what you can do for each of the y values, so in this experiment the y values would be the control and treated values. You could use the same k for all of these y values. So again, I could use 5 if I wanted to do y equals 5 times y. Or again, I can also hook a value from a previous analyses or an info constant if I so wish. The different thing here for the y values is that you can specify a different k value for each data set. So this means for the control group, I could use a k value of say 2. And then if I change this to treated, I could use a k value of 20. So what this would do is for the control group, this group here, it would do y equals k, which would be 2 multiplied by y. Whereas for the treated group, it would be y equals k, which is 20 multiplied by y. So that's a way you can do slightly different transformations on different y datasets. Another thing to note is when you're doing transformation on y values, the replicate submenu would open. So you can either transform individual y values, so this would mean each of these replicates it would transform, or you can transform the average of these replicates. So GraphPad will firstly average these values and then do a transformation on the mean value. So that's just another option to bear in mind when you're transforming y values. So let's move on to the next way you can transform data, which is using pharmacology and biochemistry transforms. So as I mentioned, there are 6 options available here, and we'll go through each one now in a bit more detail. First one is the Eadie-Hofstee method. So this is useful when you want to plot enzyme kinetic results. And doing this transformation, the x values will become y over x, and the y values are unchanged. So there's no transformation on the y values here. The next one is the Hannes-Wolff. So this is used again to plot enzyme kinetic results. In this instance, x is unchanged, so it's untransformed, and the y values become x over y. There's also the Hill method. This is useful to use when using dose-response data. And in this instance, x is not changed if the data is already log transformed. Otherwise, if your data is not log transformed, it will perform a log to the base of 10 transformation on the x values. For the y values, a log to the base of 10 and then open brackets y over y max minus y is entered. So in the additional parameters, you would need to enter a Vmax or a Ymax, and then you need to tell Prism if your x values are already log transformed or if they're untransformed by clicking these options here. Another option is the Lineweaver-Burke method, and this again is used to plot enzyme kinetic results. The x values will become 1 over x, and the y values will become 1 over y. For the log-log transformation, this will simply perform a log with the base of 10 transformation on the x values, as well as a log with a base of 10 for the y value transformation. And finally, there's the Scatcherd method, and this is useful to display radioligand binding results. So the x values will become the y values, and the y values will become y over x. So they're just 6 methods useful to use when you've got pharmacological or biochemical data. Let's now move on to the third method of transforming data, which is user-defined X functions. So here, instead of using Prism's inbuilt function list, you can actually create your own function. So let's show you an example. You want to click the Add button, and then you can give your function a name. So what I'm going to do is just call this x equals multiply by k minus 2. And then in the equation box, this is where you actually put the equation for that formula. In this instance, it will be x equals, open bracket, x multiplied by k, close the bracket, minus 2. So all my x values will be multiplied by k, which is a number which I can specify, minus 2. Then click OK. You can see now it's in the window available to select, and it's now asking what is k. So again, I could enter k as a value of say 10, or I can hook an analyses to this parameter. So the useful thing here is that this formula will be saved for future reference, so if you ever want to use this again, it'll be in this list. Finally, what you can do is do user-defined y functions. So this is exactly the same, so using custom functions, but instead of transforming your x values, you can use it to transform your y values. What I'm going to do is just close the transformation window at the minute. A useful thing is that this transform result sheet is actually linked to the original datasheet. So if you go to the original datasheet, and if I change some of my values, the transform sheet will be automatically updated for me. So this is useful if you add or remove a data point in your original data table and you forget to retransform the data. There's no need to worry because the data sheets are linked together and the transformation will actually account for this automatically. So in this video I've shown you how to transform data within Prism, and there are 4 main ways to do this. You can either use the standard functions, which are functions already available within Prism. There's pharmacology and biochemistry transformations. There's user-defined X functions, where you can create your own function to custom transform X functions, and you can similarly do this with the Y values as well. by doing user-defined Y functions. So that is an overview of how you can transform your data within Prism.